Hello, everyone. I hope you're well. I hope you can hear me, because that's always the big one. I hope you can see me, but again, there's like that 20-second delay, so we'll give it some time. We'll see what's what. Welcome to Tuesday. I nearly said Wednesday, but it's only Tuesday, unfortunately. I'm sorry to have ruined everyone's hopes and dreams this day. I am Lawson. Welcome to Live and Let's Dice, and I'm going to be painting big orcs, Ironjaws. I'm also going to show off some other stuff that I've been doing because it's been a hot minute since I've been on stream, and I have been doing other paintings and other things, but the Ironjaws are for a tournament in about 6 weeks' time, and I realised I have not done anything for them, so I need to get more done. But I will show you also the Emperor's Children, the current new hotness of 40k. So here is my Lord Exultant, I think they're called. I can't remember. But he's very shiny, and you can't really tell on... Come on, play the game. Play the game. Maybe if I go further down, it'll be nicer. Yep, you absolutely cannot see it on this camera. Maybe you can. I have done rainbow panel lining on white armour, because I have lost my damn mind. But hey ho, super shiny metallics. Anyway, orcs. Orcs. Everybody loves orcs, and I love Age of Sigmar orcs. Sorry, excuse me for that. There we go, that's all right there. But yeah, how's everybody doing? So we have a good time. It's getting warmer up here in the grim north. But I'm not a massive fan of that. I do better in the cold. I prefer the cold. What was I doing here? What was I doing? Because I had it ordered in my head. You can see I've kind of got some base colours down, like skin and cloth. There's other stuff I wanted to do. Why are you stuck to that? I don't know. Put you over there. Let's see here. I had it in my head, like how I was going to do each part, and like my flow, and now I've completely lost that. So, right, I think I'm going to do the bone. Let's do bone. Thank you for bearing with me. But no, I was going to stream the other week, but then there was a gaming convention in town, well, just outside of town, and it was great fun. Went along, helped out. A little bit of there. Okay, where we go. So I haven't actually bought the full army yet for the Oryx, but you know, we'll see. But I'm just painting what I've got now, and then next month I'll buy the box, because it's what I've got plus a spearhead, and I'm sorted. So I'm painting what I've got now before it all looks like one big massive headache to paint, and then it's straight back onto the Emperor's Children. And hopefully GW are kind and give me a little bit of extra time before the next box comes out, the next army box comes out, which I think will be the Soulblight Gravelords, if their current sort of reveals are anything to go by. But I think there's some Adepticon reveals coming soon, so who knows what boxes they will tell us are coming next. So as some of you will be aware, my 2025 painting challenge is to paint every army box that GW releases this year. And so far, I'm 2 for 3. I got Krieg done in January. Got the Git Mobs done in February. Unfortunately, have not managed to get the Emperor's Children finished in March, but, you know, time makes fools of us all. Just going around finding out. Now, because he's the mega boss, I'm going to be a little bit more special with him. So I'm going to do his nails. Usually I just sort of paint them the same green and call it a day, but hey, this guy's one of a kind. He's special. He's a special little boy. He gets the extra jazz. So, the skull here. Is that a metal skull? Oh, that's a Stormcast head. Okay, well I'll be painting that gold later. These tusks on the back of them. Just very carefully go around, get everything. I want to get all the sort of colours blocked in. So I'm not doing anything too fancy or overly involved, because as I said, I've got the tournament in May, so I kind of want to just get them done. As long as they've got like a nice theme, which I think they do, because the Ironjaws as a whole, they love the big pigs. So I thought, what's the biggest pig there is? Of course, cops. So I'm giving them all cop colours, because I am hilarious and very clever. I do hope you can hear me, but if not, you know, at least I hope you can see me. And then, you know, that's the main part really, the seeing. Watch me guff about with paint. Is that actually? Yeah, that's a bone. A bone skull on his other shoulder pad. So that will paint in properly. Might be a bit of a shorter stream today, unfortunately. I have a few other commitments, but I did want to get a stream in as I hadn't been on for a while. That was just sort of getting into a better routine of getting it done. I'm bad for keeping routine, and I could tell because I haven't done a lot on the Emperor's Children, and the part of me getting back into doing the streams was to make sure I got these army boxes done. for those of you who already subscribed to the channel, have you seen the latest battle report from Jules and Beanie? I was watching it the other day and I was like, hey, I recognise some of those models from way back when. Those 30k Heresy models were from when we were invited down for the Heresy Weekend, which was lovely, great fun. Using as a Lord proxy, I painted that one, so it is obviously the better one. Right, let's look here. So on the bone, on the sigils there. Anything around here? Anything around there? No, I think we're all. I think we're Gucci on that one. Right, so quickly to go around all these guys. Shouldn't be too difficult because I think only some of them will have bone or tusks or something like that on them. Yep, like this guy. Helps if you paint on camera. There we go, and he's got a, is it like a animal skull belt? Cause sure, why not? And then we'll have another quick scan around, and I think we're good. Again, this guy, just the tusks here on his mask. Going around and having a check, but yeah, it just looks like it's just the for a lot of them it's just the tusks that need doing, which means get that stage done nice and quick. Just as a frame of reference, sort of here is the test scheme of one I've done, and that's sort of the general vibe that we're going for, like cop blue, checkers, chevrons, that kind of thing. nothing too fancy. I mean, the checkers are probably going to take a while, but every time I do the checkers, I get a little bit quicker at them. So. He's got like a little tooth or a fang on his belt. There. Needs more darker. Well, the space orcs. The space orcs do love their darker. I mean, I assume that if you gave the Ironjaws ordnance, they'd have an absolute field day. Although, actually, no, they don't like it. Because it's the reason that they hate, like, dwarves in the human cities. Is because they consider it cheating. They consider artillery to be cheating, so they don't like it. Which I quite enjoy as a concept, given the fact that they have absolutely no, like, concept of honour in their own. You know, a fight's a fight to them, but they do look at, like, dwarf artillery and gyro bombers, and they think, nah, that's cheating. That's not a... It's like, you're tiny, you're smaller than an orc, you're using gyro bombers, and steam tanks, and artillery guns, and black powder weaponry, because you're not strong enough to take us in a proper fight. They're just jealous. Well, yeah, BC, that could be the orcs. These orcs are just jealous. Right. It's bone. I also realise at some point I need to... Oh my god. Sorry, my notification just went crazy there. I need to probably retire this brush, as I'll show you just for comparison, because I did buy a new brush, but I'm like waiting to switch over until I actually finish a project fully. So here is my size 2 Green Stuff World Silver Series, and it's, you know, it's thin. It's still got a great point to it. But here is a brand new size 2. And then when you do a side by side comparison, you can see that my size 2 has taken a beating over time. So I think it's probably coming up to about the time where I should retire it. But it's still good. It's still good. So no, it persists. Right, what's next on the block? So we'll do... we'll do leather. Leather's dead easy, just snakebite leather over a zenithal. Oh. Beautiful time. Snakebite leather has become rapidly one of my favourite contrasts. Because I've been using contrast more and more lately, but it's mainly just to sort of get little things done on a model. So like leather, like straps, pouches, leather and things like that. Just get them done. And then I can concentrate on like nicer, more fun things like armor panels or like cloaks or cloth or skin. Just put this over his nails as well, make them look a bit grimy. See, Quintet of Blood Bowl Orc Boys / Gnomes I can offer you by that I want to paint up and convert like a Blood Bowl. Well, if they were barging through a space hulk. Ah! See, that's why it is something I've enjoyed about orcs. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of orcs, but I love the potential for shenanigans. Like, you just have an idea with them, and you're like, here we go. I'm doing this. So like last year, was it last year? Yeah, it was last year. I painted up an orc army for King in the North that was purely based on the pun of the Sons of Anarchy. So it was bikes, it was flash kits dressed up like rocker boys, and it worked really well. It was great. I printed a stage, like 3D printed a stage, and even got like a little Bluetooth speaker to put behind so it could blast some tunes out while I was playing. Great fun. And I think the same thing's happened here, where I've gone, oh well, I could take Army X with me because it's all painted and reasonably know how to play it and stuff like that. But then the spirit of mischief and the poltergeist of adventure takes me and goes, no, do orcs, base them on a shit pun. Well, like brown contrast and speed paints are great for a lot of stuff. Yeah, they really are. Like I said, they're absolute workhorses. So like, snakebite leather, rattling grime is bloody fantastic. And who else? What else is a good one? Wildwood. But I start to second guess myself because I start thinking, oh, am I using them too much? Like, is it limiting, like, what I'm painting? Because I'd like to, I always like to. I like to get better with painting. I like to see that I am improving somewhat in at least one or two areas, with a project. I like to go, oh yeah, I did that well, I like that, or, that could have gone, I know what to do next time, or... But I sometimes think I might over-rely on them. But then again, I think, no, because sometimes you just want something out on the table. So, when it comes to wanting to play games with painted models, they don't ask how, they ask how many. straps there. And then for the back of his feet. I really like this Warboss model, and I am very glad that I get a chance to actually have a reason to properly paint him up and field him, because he's been sat in a drawer for years, as he was one of the first Warhammer. He was the first Warhammer Plus anniversary, like 12-month subscription sort of model. Right, what else have we got? Is any more? Ah, yes, on the inside of that arm. Has anyone else been playing Monster Hunter Wilds recently? I have recently switched from Sword and Shield to Dual Blades to the hammer, and the hammer is glorious. Just bonk things. Controlling those sorts of paints is a skill of itself. Yes, you know what? Yeah, you're right there and things. I have noticed that it is like, it's certainly a different way to paint by using contrast, because it's not a. I mean, when it first came out, it was very much sort of like everyone was kind of just slapping it on and watching it go. But now people use contrast as washes, as glazes, as base, as base coats to then work up on. So yeah. Yeah, there we go. So leather on him. I think I've got everything. If not, I'll find it and I'll do it again. Right, now bring these guys back in. We'll quickly go through and we'll get them done. As you can see, I am batch painting. What a day. Careful not to overspill on the parts that I've already painted, because that would be silly. It's alright, BC. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hope you have a lovely grocery trip. Get yourself a nice baked good, if you are so inclined. Oh yes, of course. The weapons trapeze too. Snake-bite leather is just so good. It's just like the slight yellow. There's a slight yellowish to it. It just so works so well. Hello, Steves. How's it going? I'm alright, brother, I'm alright. Plodding ever onwards. Trying to fight the ever mountain pile of grey plastic that I amass. Although I have been very good recently, and I have not sort of had my Green Goblin mask moment where I go, let's fire up the 3D printer and just see where the day takes me. Because where the day takes me is printing a bunch of stuff that I do not need and will not paint for at least a very long time. I'm just concentrating on what I've got at the moment, and in terms of new stuff, it's always just going to be army boxes or spearheads. Oh, have a little sip sip. It has helped somewhat. However, it hasn't really this is backlog. The Oryx, the Ironjaws are definitely backlog because this has been sat on my desk for a very long time. I mean, full disclosure, this is stuff that was sent to us in these are the Odd Boys and the Brute Wreckers, the Brute Ragers that I've got off to one side. They were sent to us very kindly by GW, so full disclosure there. The Mega Boss, however, I bought the Mega Boss myself because it was part of the Warhammer Plus subscription. But yeah, so it's been sat. Got this sent out in like 3rd edition, I think it was. And so it's been sat, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to this tournament, I'm going to paint them up, get it done, clear out a little bit more of the backlog as I go, and that's the idea. And my local game store, Northumbrian Tin Soldier, have been doing every other Sunday. They do Small Board Sunday, so you can come along, you can play Underworlds, you can play Spearhead, Kill Team, things like that. So I've been trying to get more spearheads painted up as well. I've got quite a few done. And then, like I said, the Emperor's Children is probably the next one. Once I get this done, well, I'm switching between the two because I don't want to get bored or burnt out with one project, because I felt that happening with the Git mobs. I was getting to the end of the Git mobs and it was getting like, ugh. I was feeling the slog. And I'm not entirely sure whether I actually liked the Git mobs in the end or not. I like the mod. Yeah, I think actually, I like the models. They have changed the rules a little bit. Like Drogs is much better. Originally, his ability was once per game. He could do his cool ability for like units around him, which I cannot remember off the top of my head. But that was like once per game. So you're like, okay, it's a cool ability, but you only do it like once per game, and it only went off on like a 4-up. So it was like, oh, that's not good. And they've changed that now to once a turn, and that's great. And changing the points slightly as well makes them a lot more usable. So may turn the Git mobs into a fully fleshed out army down the line. Who knows? But yes. Yes, I'm really hoping with Warcry that they do the same thing that they've done with Underworlds. Because Underworlds second edition, for one of it, like Emberguard, the latest box set that's come out and things, and the whole new overhaul of it, it's such a better way to play the game. Because we played Underworlds when it first came out, like when the channel first started, it was one of the first things that we did was Underworlds and Warcry. And Warcry's a bit all over the place. Like, it's hard to sort of work out easily what's going on with it. So I'm hoping that they do the same thing with, like, they've done with Underworlds, where they're like, look, we're just going to do, like, a new edition, page 1. We're not going to try and sort of do a 0.5 Band-Aid. And I'm thinking, because I thought, and I was terrifically wrong. Now, I've been entirely wrong about pretty much every GW release known to man. Like, I will hand on heart say, when everybody else was saying 10th edition is coming, I said, shut up, you're a bunch of morons, they're not going to do a 10th edition, it's just going to be a new version of Space Hulk. And as I said, I was so stupidly wrong on that one. It was in fact 10th edition, but hey ho. So I'm always wrong about these things. But my hope is, because I thought the Emperor's Children was going to be the summer release. Again, terrifically wrong. It came out like 2 weeks ago. But there is usually a summer release. Now, Horus Heresy is in a good place, rules wise and state of play wise, and also there's a lot more stuff that they need to bring in before, like, Horus Heresy 2nd edition is kind of like done, or where it needs to be. If that makes any sense. So I don't think it's going to be Horus Heresy. I don't think it's going to be Legion Imperialis. Necromunda is absolutely fine where it is. It's a living rule set. It's more about like the narrative and the special rules and things like that, and it's very much down to, like, play this amongst your friends or in a bigger group, whatever. So I think Warcry might be the summer release. That's what I'm thinking. But again, I am usually wrong about these things, so it remains to be seen. But that's what I'm hoping for, a new edition of Warcry, and then it's something that we can get on board with. Round 1. But Spearhead, I've absolutely fallen in love with Spearhead. Like, it's such a nice way to play Age of Sigmar. You can sit down at a table and just be like, play a game, have a chat. So even if the game does take a bit, like, Spearhead usually doesn't take that long. You can get a game done, like, including, like, if you play it hardcore, Like boom, 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 boom. You can get a game done in probably about an hour and a half. But about 2 hours for a game of Spearhead, and that's because, you know, you just sort of, you're chatting shite, you're like, do you want a drink? Do you want a drink? I want a drink, so I'm going to go outside for a cig or a vape or whatever like that. Yeah, it's all good. And I really like the casual aspect of Spearhead. And I like the fact as well as like you can be like, oh well, I've got I've got the Sylvaneth Spearhead. It's like, do you want to try that this week? And you go, yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, well, let's give it a go. Let's see how it goes. And I'm gonna run it up against like whatever, like the Blades of Corn Spearhead, and see how that goes. Or the it's nice. It's good. It's cool. And the boxes are cheaper than Combat Patrol. And I think as a small board format, it's a lot more contained. Now, my only issue with it is that it relies on those cards and the boards to be, and it's like a specific board because the objectives are printed onto the board. So that's like something that you gotta pay for. I mean, there's probably like some PDF files or something like that, like where you can just like print and play at home. But if you want like the proper experience, that's like another 30 quid that you're playing. Yes, oh no, honestly, Underworld's like Emberguard is really good. I absolutely bloody love Emberguard. I take it down to the store a lot to play and get other people involved. I just like that there is a format for deck building if you want, but having like sort of the modularity coming from picking a deck and then picking a warband is, I think, a lot better and healthier for the game. Because with Underworld's first edition, the chase became insane. You know, people would be buying warbands just purely for one or two cards in the box. And then you'd not be able to get your hands on that. Or you'd feel like you'd have to pay, £25 for like 4 cards. Yeah, I know a lot of people have been saying Chaos Dwarves are coming for Siggles. I don't think we're going to see Chaos Dwarves. Now remember, as I said before, I am wrong. Consistently. I have not predicted in any meaningful capacity any release on GW side. Whether that's timing or actual content. So, when I say I don't think the Chaos Dwarves, it's because I have my own theory. I think it's not going to be Chaos Dwarves. I think we are finally going to get Umbraneth. And we're going to see Valerian the Dread. Because it's something that they've been dancing around for ages. And the Crone Seer, whatever her name was like a big part of the previous narrative before 4th edition, which was, what was it called? Dawnbringer Crusades. And so that Crone was a big thing, and I think the Umbraneth have been teased a lot because like Morathi Kane's had her own, like she has her own sort of like Black Ops team of pseudo Umbraneth, and Valerian has been talked about since 1st edition as some kind of like deranged like shadow dragon monster, and I was like, this is too cool for them not to do. Like, and I think that's gonna, and I think that would be a wonderful, wonderful narrative shift, because they've kind of gone back to, it's like Order is the good guys but not the nice guys. I like that. I really do like that. That, like, although Marathi Kane is an antagonist, she does come under the sort of the pantheon of Order, because it is a society that her cult is, like, you know, it is a society. They do have, like, you know, cities and culture, and they do create things. They are just, however, like, thrill killing nut jobs. And she's a power hungry maniac. But I kind of want to see a kind of a classic analog. I like the idea of, like, we've got the four Chaos Gods plus the Skaven. I want to see them versus, like, the four elemental elves, because you'll have, you know, we've got light elves with the Lumineth, we've got water elves with the Ideneth, you know, we've got the Sylvaneth, so, like, the wood elves, like, you know, Alariel and all that, and I'm hoping we get Umbraneth. That'd be cool. That'd be cool as all hell. Well, we've had the refresh. That was Skaven. Skaven have had their refresh. But we are also getting a Soulblight Gravelord refresh. Because what was... Soulblight Gravelord are getting an army refresh in however long it takes them for the box to come out. Because currently we have Black Knights and Crypt Guard, and they are being refreshed into new models, which are the Barrow Guard and the Barrow Knights. So that's one refresh. Skaven, they got a big refresh as well. Oh yeah, and the Soulblights are getting new zombie dragons, and a new Prince Vordry, and a new mounted hero. So they're getting some new... Soulblights are getting a lot of love, and I think the zombie dragon, the new Vordry, is amazing, and the zombie dragon as well should be... I mean, it depends on what the 4th edition book for the Flesh Eaters ends up looking like, but it should be crossover with that, so I should, hopefully, I mean, I'm hoping they're just sort of keeping it under wraps for now, but the zombie dragon should be able to make it into a Terrorgeist as well. I want it to still be a dual kit, like the old one currently is. But that remains to be seen. So that's 2 refreshes of 4th edition. Let's have a Git Mobs. That's a new faction. I wouldn't say it's a new army. It's like a new sub faction to the Gloomspite Gits. And it's very fun, very thematic. I like it as an addition, as a whole, like as a narrative addition to the Gloomspite. Really like them. Who else have we had? We had Slaves to Darkness, who didn't really get much. They got a new Chaos Sorcerer, but in 3rd edition they got the Dark Oath. Again, a new sub-faction. So we might not see a new army. So what they might do is that the Daughters of Cain may have the Umbraneth as a sub-faction, which, again, I will welcome those gloriously, like, hardcore nu metal emo vibes that I want from the Umbraneth. Like, I'm 14 and this is deep. Obsidian Bovril McKnight, that kind of thing. but we might see them as a sub-faction. We might not see a standalone faction. But again, I'm usually entirely wrong on these things. So who knows? We'll see. We'll see. Just locked off work. Is feeling please. I have to miss the pain. Hope it goes well. Oh well, Nerdy Goth, you rest up. Have yourself some hot buttered toast and some scrambled eggs. That always makes me feel better when I'm not well. And a turbo lemsip. Let's just do this little pouch leather too. So I think really I'm never too sure what is to come with GW releases and whatnot, but it's all gonna be bloody good. I can definitely guarantee that one. It's all gonna be good. Yeah, this is. I mean, so it's the Adepticon reveals, like Wednesday, Thursday, depending on where on the planet you are. And I said that there's going to be some 40k reveals, with some Sigma reveals, which is going to be fun. I feel bad though. Actually, no, I don't feel bad at all for the ones who are sort of like the dyed in the wool 40k fans, because like they get the reveals and they have some lovely models and they have some lovely things and they get shown some very nice things, but then the Age of Sigmar reveal would be like, oh, check out this just this random schmuck on a horse, and now he is like, he just goes harder design wise than everything that the 40k design studio has done. Like Age of Sigmar is absolutely killing it on the models at the moment. Like I said, almost feel bad, but 40k still does have some fantastic stuff, and they get far more support, I feel. 2 a.m. Thursday is going to be rough. It's so rough that I am not staying up for that, because I am back at work on Thursday. So I'm not going to stay up. I am just going to wake up in the morning like a regular human and peruse them on my phone or my PC, depending on where I am. Strips on the shoulder pads. Age of Sigmar is like, and I understand that people love 40k the game, and I think it is the gamer's game. That's not to say that Age of Sigmar is not a serious game. At a competitive level, it blows my mind to see what people can like play with and do like in the rule set and everything like that. But it does very much seem like GW knows that 40k is is your playing game. So you get you kind of start to see the same pattern with things like, here's your shooty boys, here's your choppy boys, here's your special boys, here's your special boys in a slightly different hat, and here is a centerpiece model of some description. Now, it is a similar thing with Age of Sigmar. I'm not going to say, but the character behind it is being like, well, they don't have 40 years of guff behind them to have to contend with and like make sure it all makes sense. But yeah, Votann, like, Votann are weird because like I've looked at the Votann. Let's have a look. I'm gonna have a look at the actual like the Votann range. So we've got 40k, Xenos, Leagues of Votann. We'll sort by price descending. Because I thought they had a lot. It felt like that they had a lot. But apparently I'm really wrong. So, excuse me. I'm going to take a break from painting and I'm going to stare at stuff and say things. So, you've got big car, little car, bikes, which I don't like. Put them on fucking wheels. 2 kill teams, the Berserkers, which are nice. The Hearthguard, the Thunderkin, your rank and file. Oh, and then there's a bunch of it's a bunch of characters. That's where. Oh, okay. Oh, Jesus, no, you. Oh. Well, right, okay. So I'm way off. I'm way off. That's on me. I thought they had like way more. I thought they had something like 20 odd units. But to have like 2 of your units be kill teams, so you've effectively only got like 13 units there. Actually, no. I'm sorry, I tell a lie. You were right. You're right, Steves. It is closer to 12. Because 1 was the combat patrol, 1 was the cards, and 2 were kill teams. So, yeah, it's like 12. 12 units. Oh, okay, yeah, they need a second wave. Which hopefully they'll get this year. Because it does feel like, it feels like a lot of 40k armies are like, they're waiting for a second wave. I felt like that with World Eaters in, was it 9th edition? Yeah. Like World Eaters in 9th edition really felt like they needed a second wave. Not even a big second wave, just give me some Red Butchers. Give me Red Butchers and give me, what was the melee equivalent of the Obliterators? Because they did new Obliterators. Yeah, massively agree. So, sorry, Samuel, I did see your message here. I think it's 40k. All 40k factions have very defined looks and design criteria and have for decades. That is it. They do, like I said, they have like 40 odd years of like backstory to a lot of them. I really do like the Iron Kin side of it. Things I love the fact that like kin is kin to the Votann. Like, doesn't matter whether you're a robot or you're flesh and blood. It's like you're Votann, and I like that as a concept. And you've got those, what are they called, like Hearth Mines or something like that. Very cool. Like, Votann have very cool stuff. I'd like to paint some up. I want to paint up the exosuits because the pictures, they're green and they have like the swords and stuff. And your boy is a big fan of Senor D. Slayer of Doom fame. I just full stop need to read more more Warhammer books. I mainly read battle tomes because I like the battle. I like having a battle tome. But I was thinking, it's really weird. I never take my own advice when it comes to like Games Workshop, like Black Library books, as I give to people when it comes to comics, where I'm just like, just pick one up, read it. If it doesn't make sense, usually there'll be something they'll tell you like, oh, you should read like this story or that story. But the books I want to pick up, because I was in the Games Workshop, I was in a Games Workshop store a few weeks ago, and the chap there, whose name I cannot remember, I'm very sorry, lovely dude. He was telling me about the books because he like absolutely like inhales Black Library novels, and he was telling me that the 2 Renegade books that have come out are apparently really good. So I think I'm going to pick up Renegade, Lords of Excess, and then the other one, the name escapes me, but it's about the Alpha Legion, and I don't really know anything about the Alpha Legion other than like the shitty memes. So yeah, I'm going to try and read that. And then I need to start picking up some more Age of Sigmar ones, because again it was just sort of it was all just like it's all narrative books and stuff I read with Sigmar as well, because I always love the little like the narrative stuff that they've done. Broken Realms was really cool. Malign Portents was awesome. The Dawnbringer Crusades was fantastic. Like that culminated in such a good end. Well, I say a good end. It was, cataclysmically bad for a lot of people concerned. But the journey was so cool, like the return of Usheran, and it turns out like he's been back for a while, but they've kind of just locked him away because he is old and, let's face it, crazy. But is he though? I mean, he is old, but is he as crazy as everybody thinks he is? Perhaps not. And Corgus Cull, like the disappearance of Corgus Cull. And I think because we're getting the Blades of Khorne book soon, either like shortly before or shortly after Soulblights, if the roadmap is to be believed. Which means I want to find out what happened to Corgus Cull, because he had his glorious showdown against Vandus Hammerhand, which is like something that had been like 5 years in the make. Well, longer than that, because Age of Sigmar has been going for nearly, I want to say 8 years, 9 years. So like Vandus Hammerhand and Corgus Cull were basically the first 2 Age of Sigmar named characters. They finally went at it again after all this time. And Vandus kind of goes mad trying to kill him, but like Vandus gets like ascended at the last minute. So I think he's going to become a new, like a Blades of Khorne named character. And I think that's going to be super sick. Ooh, strap on his back there. But yeah, no, I did not realise that the Votann had Votann had so little in the way of models. That is my bad. I hope they get more. Who knows? Maybe we'll see at Adepticon that they get more. Really excited to see what they do with the OS story. More invested than anything else. I think Vandus and Cull are both going to get new forms. Right. Yeah, because narratively, Vandus Hammerhand is currently locked away. Oh. Yeah, so Vandus Hammerhand is currently like locked away in a storm vault somewhere because he's lost his goddamn mind because he's been reforged so many times. He's basically a gibbering wreck at this point. Now, Ionis Cryptborn is doing his thing where he's like, I'm going to try and, fucking fix these guys because they are fucked. So what I'm hoping that we see is that, because we've got the Ruination Chamber now, which are Stormcast Eternals that are basically like buggered. They're sort of like the Stormcast equivalent of like the like Death Company, really. Like they're buggered. It's like we've got maybe one or two like solid military campaigns out of them, and then like we're gonna have to put them out of pasture. But Vandus is even like further gone. But because like Vandus is such a bro, nobody's like, we can't really like. We can't like true kill him. That would be lame. So I'm really hoping that like Korgoskul will come back as some kind of like ascended, like demon, like a named demon prince, because I would like to see that as a thing going forward. Of like, because you have, like the greater demons are like you've got your greater demons and then you've got a named greater demon. And that's great. I love that for each Age of Sigmar faction. But I would like a medium size because then the step down from that when it comes to named characters is like just small guys. I mean, apart from the Head Knights of Slaanesh, they've got what's his name, Otto Gluttus or whatever his name is. He's cool. He's a great size, great centerpiece, great character. And I think that the other factions need that as well. But they need something in Age of Sigmar. Because again you've got like the smaller size one, like the smaller one down from that in terms of name character is Sigvald. So I think Slaanesh has really like nailed it on like your hierarchy of cool named characters to take it like every size level of game. But the other factions I think need to be fleshed out a little bit more. Okay, you've got the Changeling for Tzeentch, that's cool. But that's a reforged, model from the world that was. I want more Age of Sigmar universe things, like Nurgle has the Glotkin. Again, that was from the world that was. So, and I know Sigvald, he's from the world that was, but he got a new model, that's kind of cool, but again, I kind of want to see that we're in the 4th edition of the game. I think we're all ready to like start rallying behind proper named characters. And ones that aren't just sort of reforged from the world that was, but like with, because at that point it's just like, did anybody actually die? Or was it just sort of a mild cold? Now, I get it for certain characters and certain aspects, certainly, like demons or near godlike figures. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like Gluttus is just like amazing being on like that platform being carried, and it's like his own little private his little pleasure, sort of palace. And he's getting dragged. He gets pulled around on and things. It's like that's great. That's flippable, and that's kind of want to see. So I want to see like I want to see Corgus Cole being like a absolute like just a swollen maelstrom of violence. Like he's transcended like he's transcended skin. He's just muscle and blood. And a series of gnarly weapons. I mean, I hope he keeps his reality splitting axe because that's just the coolest goddamn thing ever. Both on a rules aspect and a narrative aspect that like he was given an axe that can just like occasionally cut through reality itself and completely end the concept of somebody that he hits. Oh, there's a skull in this. You know, I'm just going to go over the whole thing. Yes, Drecky, like Drecky Flint, what a guy. I think he does have battle tome rules. Well, I mean he's got in. Well, I say he's got rules. The Caradrons don't have a battle tome yet, but he does have rules, and you do like nominate one of your sky ships to be Drecky's ship, and it gets like some extra abilities and stuff, which I think that's very cool, like very in keeping. But I know what you mean. It's like but I'm not too sure if he's in the Legends category or not. Same with the Hollow King. I would like to see the Hollow King become more of a thing. Actually, I need to read the Hollow King's books because I've always got a soft spot for like the dead factions in Age of Sigmar. Like, just because I really like Nagash as a character because he's just an irredeemable. He is just an asshole. Like that's his whole shtick. There's no like tragic villainry thing and thing. It's no tragic villainry. It's just like he was born an asshole. He continues to be an asshole. He died an asshole. But that death didn't stop him. And nor did he stop being an asshole. And at every step of the way, no matter what grand plan Nagash tries to come up with, always there's just a bunch of crackhead rats in his walls ripping the copper out, ruining his goddamn day. That's why I was so happy to see like the Skaven become like major narrative. Like they've got their turn in the sun now to be the big bads because they've just been kicking around for a while, just like in the background. Like they fucked up the Necroquake. They've just been like just doing their own thing here and there. But now they're just like part of the main players. It's very cool to see. So yes, I think you know what I'm gonna buy myself a Warhammer book to read when I go down to Warhammer World in May. Have a lovely time. something to read on the train back. Nice little gift. Nice little present to myself. What a day that will be. I know, like, so it's mainly like the narrative books that focus on like Nagash, because obviously the dude's usually up to something nefarious. But I know it's like it was the first Underworlds book, the Shadespire book. I remember reading the sample chapter for it, and it was it was really good because it's all about like Nagash. And he's like, because he can see out throughout all of the realms of death and what have you. And he has like something scratching away at the back of his brain. So he brings his vision in closer. So out from the realm of, from all the realms where death is. And he brings it back closer to the realm of death. And he's like, what the fuck is going on? Something's like rattling around in his brain. It's scratching away. It's irritating to him. Like a thrum or a scratch or something like that. So he brings his vision, his cosmic vision, back in closer and closer and closer, until he realizes that somehow a bunch of Ironjaws have just found their way into Gothazar, like his capital city, and are just wrecking the place. And he's just absolutely furious because he's just like, how did these orcs get in here? And why are they breaking everything? And the orcs are just like, meh, because we can. You big nerd. And he just stamp on his shopping. Yes, I am going for a one-day tournament at Warhammer World to play Age of Sigmar, playing 3 games, 1,000 points, and I'm taking the Ironjaws. So that's in sort of back end of May. I can't remember the exact date now off the top of my head. So I think it's around the 20th. So I'm going down, spending a couple of days in Nottingham, and then coming back. So I have until approximately May 20th to get these done. So yeah, I said about 6 weeks. Yeah, I've never really played in a proper tournament before. So first of all, I'm going to have to get some practice in. I mainly built this list because, on paper, I was like, this is the easiest damn thing to do. Both in terms of, model count, army composition, and playstyle. It's pretty much just, move them forward towards the nearest living thing and beat it to death with your fists. Which I respect as a concept. However, there is absolutely no... So, the list is a unit of 20 Ardboys, 1 Mega Boss, 3 Brute Ragers, a unit of 6 Brute Ragers, and then 5 Brutes. So, no magic, no faction terrain, just line them up, march them forward, and just either sit on objectives, because I've given the Mega Boss the thing where he counts as 10 models or he gets plus 10 for objective control score, and I think he can do a power up to the brutes, and then everything else is just there just to sort of, like I said, beat the absolute snot out of everything. So yeah, don't have a wizard, so I can't. Won't be doing any endless spells. Won't be doing any manifestations or anything like that. If the opponents do have endless spells, I'm going to have to just beat them to death with my bare hands. I don't imagine I'm going to do too well. But am I going to have fun? Hell yes, I am. Me and my buddy Chris, we're going to go down. Gonna have a good time. I haven't been to Nottingham for years. The last time I went down was, I think it was the Horus Heresy event. So that's a long time ago now. So if anybody happens to be sort of Nottingham way around, I think it's May, I want to say it's May 20th, I think is the day of the tournament. Maybe around Nottingham, or there may still be tickets if you fancy going to an Age of Sigmar one-day tournament. Let us know. Because I haven't done anything sort of like Warhammer event related for ages. Didn't go to King of the North this year because I just couldn't be bothered. I will be going next year because that is the last year, although actually I'm moving in January, so I don't think I will be able to go to King of the North next year, which is a shame. Oh. Oh. That was leather straps, even though some of that's technically his pants. I just wasn't paying attention when I was painting. Well, that's on me. But we'll get the leather done here, and I think that brings us nicely towards the end of... Like I said, it's just a bit of a shorter one for me today, but I'm hoping I'll be back on again next couple of days, because I want to get more into it and things, and I have this sort of streaming setup now is like a... I don't have to pack it up and put it down, I can just sort of like get the camera on and go for it, which is handy. Which is another reason why I need to start doing this some more. So, get this last little leather bit done. There we go, there we go, there we go. And yeah, we'll call it there, because I haven't got enough time to really start on anything else yet. No, we don't have a Patreon. We don't. We've just got memberships. So basically everything is through Is it 50%? Oh, I did not know it was 50%. I thought it was... I don't know what I thought it was. I have no idea. But no, we don't have a Patreon or anything. We've just got the memberships and things, and really, it's absolutely bloody lovely that people are members, and it's bloody lovely that people are subscribers as well. Like it's all just fantastic. So I will say thank you very much to everybody that is subscribed, everybody that is a member, everybody that tunes in, watches our videos, clicks the little thumb icon and stuff like that. It's great. It's great. It does mean an awful lot to me, and to everybody, not just me. To Beanie, Mikey, and Jules too. But yes, I am going to call it a day here. Okay, only got bone and leather done, but it's another step forward. But then hopefully next time I'll be able to do some lovely ultramarine. Yes, it is a very orky list. It's just run up the field and smash it, because I've done 1 day 3-game tournaments before, and like by about halfway through game 2 my head is pudding. So I want something that I do not have to think about tactics, and I'm just there to have a night. I'm there for a good time, not a long time. So That's the thing. I just want something nice, nice and painted up on the board. Oh, Steve! Oh, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Oh God, that's very generous of you. Thank you so much. Yeah, wow. Thank you. Sorry, that's blindsided me. Thank you so much. No, so yes, I will be back on another day. I'm not too sure when now, but I will keep people updated. And if you're a subscriber to the channel, have the notifications turned on, and you'll get like a little thing that'll be like, "Hey, paint and chill, Ironjaws," and it'll be me. I'll be painting, and I'll be chatting absolute nonsense about everything. So, on that note, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. I hope your brushes stay sharp and your palettes wet. And until next time, goodbye, 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 and kisses. Mwah, mwah, mwah.